Nice to meet you all. My name is Take, and I'm representing Skytree today. So, like Adil said, Skytree does direct air capture, which means capturing CO2 from the ambient air around us. And of course, everyone here knows why it's needed, right? I mean, it's been made obvious by the IPCC. We need these removals to limit the global warming effect. But what this broader theme has for an effect on current markets is that currently the use of industrial CO2 for CCU is also drying up. We have some instances in Holland, for example, where Shell is shifting their CO2 from utilization to storage projects. Well, and what this means for the utilization market is that these CO2 sources are drying up. So this is one of the key themes that we see in the utilization markets. Besides utilization and storage, we also see future markets where CO2 can serve as a feedstock for green fuels and renewable chemicals. And the advantage of this is we can place the decentralized dock machines near power, near hydrogen production, and this can eliminate transportation costs and needs. So what have we created to serve these three markets? Well, at Skytree, we've created the Stratus, which is capable to serve all these markets. This is a machine, as you see on the left side of the screen, about three 20-foot containers, two on top of each other, one next to it. And it's based on a solid sorbent temperature vacuum swing. It's a unique sorbent transport system with thermal energy integration, and the sorbent is continuously being developed, which is continuously bringing down our energy consumption, which is right now at 3 kilowatt hours per kilogram of CO2. Well, this machine is capable of producing about a ton of CO2 per day. And these can be placed as singular modules near CO2 users, let's say greenhouses that need CO2 to stimulate plant growth through photosynthesis. But they can also be modularly scaled to meet any capacity, as we see in the middle picture. This is what we call a Stratus Park. And you should see this approach as a windmill park, right? And the advantage of this approach is that you can do a phased implementation, just build one unit, see if it works, scale to 5, 10, and this really de-risks these high, these large storage projects that most often have a very high premium for financing risks. Well, and what we see, these projects are mostly located in areas that have room and energy available. So this can be warm climates that have good access to solar sources, but also climates in Canada, for instance, where it'd be quite cold. So we've developed special climate packages. This is a combination of different sorbent and different software that enables us to function in all these climates. What we also saw is this market, especially the utilization market, they require the CO2 liquid. So this is part of the built-in package. We can liquefy the CO2 so that it can be stored, used in food and beverage, or transported to other places. So who is Skytree selling to? Well, Skytree is a technology provider, and technology and project developers would be our lighthouse customers. One of these is Deep Sky in Canada. And what Deep Sky has done is they've done a very rigorous due diligence process. They scanned about 80 DAC companies about 1.5 years ago, and they made a top 8 where they ordered pilot systems from each one of them. These pilot systems are going to build at their Alberta field lab, for which we've already had a pre-purchase agreement. And from these 8 companies, they're selecting 2, of which Skytree is one of them, to start their first commercial project in Manitoba, which will deliver 50 kilotons of CO2 per year. To talk about the other markets as well, on the project on the left is Project Lingenzegen, where Skytree is part of a project for 14 greenhouses. They're collectively owned through an energy company where they have access to a lower and higher district heating, a large battery park, and solar park, and they want to integrate CO2 into their flexibility and use the CO2 to again stimulate plant growth in the greenhouses. Project Concho is a first of kind project where we'll be using wind energy together with return carbon and verified carbon to capture CO2 and store it under the ground. And the last market I was talking about is the renewable chemicals, the e-fuels, and we've won a tender of about 70 DAC companies from Jülich, which is a renowned German research institute, where we'll be producing e-fuels. So what does our business model look like? Well, like I said, we are a technology provider, so we're not selling the carbon credits ourselves. We're selling the technology to project developers or to CO2 users, and our revenue is driven by direct sales and O&M with a target of 30% margin. We have payment schedules that ensure cash positive supply chain, which enable revenue growth without the need for additional equity-based funding rounds. And we have a smart maintenance model that translates to recurrent revenue, which is paid annually upfront. This is about replacing the sorbent that's in our machines. We spread this out for recurring revenue over 5 years. On the image on the left, you can see our revenue from our weighted pipeline and our planned production. And our weighted revenue covers our planned production up until 2028. Afterwards, we're still building our pipeline, but this is an ever-growing process. So for the investor side, yeah, we're aiming to be cash flow positive by end of 2026. Yeah, we're actually having one final Series A round now. So if you're interested in this, please let me know, and we can connect after this call. Thank you very much.